With Laura Jays very soon. But first up, let's go straight to Melbourne now. I'm joined by Josh Frydenberg, the Assistant Treasurer in the Federal Government. Thanks very much for being there. No, thank you. Can you hear me? Oh, we haven't got audio there on Josh Frydenberg. He can hear me. Let's make sure, okay, apparently now we can hear him. I assume you didn't tell me where to go. Now let's go to some points here, Josh Frydenberg. I do want to get straight to this front page story in the Daily Telegraph today. Court Shorten is the headline, play on words there, which we know that the editor there at the Daily Telegraph is always keen on. What about that story concerning Bill Shorten concerns you the most?
Well, these are very damaging revelations for Bill Shorten. Essentially, what the interim report of the Royal Commission has found is that an industry super fund with over 180,000 members and $4.5 billion in assets has contributed up to $14,000 to $15,000 every year to a union slush fund called IR21, and that slush fund has been used to fund various political campaigns, including Bill Shorten's campaign for the leadership, with a $5,000 donation made on the 26th of September 2013. And the question has to be asked, who else donated to Bill Shorten's campaign fund to defeat Anthony Albanese? Why wasn't this contribution revealed? And as we know, the Royal Commission has also found that Bill Shorten failed to reveal and disclose a $40,000 donation, which also goes some years back. Just one point though, that donation wasn't disclosed in the interim report, but looking through or scrolling through the data, it was disclosed when the ALP put out its final report. They're not required to, of course, if it's under 13,000, but they did ultimately disclose it. Is your biggest concern not whether it's disclosed or not, because it was, is your bigger concern that you've got one of these industry super funds contributing to one side of politics rather than the other? Well, certainly a concern that, and I think I would be echoing the concerns of 180,000 members of that particular fund, that they were donating to a slush fund which was making contributions to Bill Shorten's fighting fund for his own campaign to become leader. Now, why is these slush funds being set up, and why is Bill Shorten receiving money from industry funds and the hard-earned savings of people for their retirement? Why is he using those funds in order to fight his own leadership battles with another fellow member of the Labor Party, namely Anthony Albanese? These are questions and allegations that should be answered by Bill Shorten, but as we saw, Peter, in that press conference, he wouldn't take many questions. He was quickly running to hide. Yeah, well, I'm sure he will get forced to answer questions on this at some point, but is one of the problems here basically problems with both sides of politics? I've been vocally critical of some of the union money getting splashed at the Labor Party, particularly where there's not disclosure, like what we saw revealed about Bill Shorten at the Trade Union Royal Commission in relation to that staffer that was allocated to him by an employer organisation that was in dealings with his union, no less. But then on the flip side, of course, in your home state of Victoria, there are some very concerning revelations that Michael Kroger had to front the media and explain about, literally $1.5 million going missing or thereabouts, and the individual allegedly involved in this recommended, despite some dodgy dealings by the looks of it, out of Tasmania. You can understand, can't you, Josh Frydenberg, why voters are looking at both sides and just shaking their heads? Well, I think you're talking about apples and oranges here, Peter. In terms of the Victorian revelations in the Liberal Party, there's clearly been, criminal activity there, which is going to be stamped out because nobody accepts it other than the one individual who was involved, it seems. Now, when we're talking here about these slush funds, clearly lots of people are contributing to it. I think that's right. Lots of people are contributing to it. Let me just jump in. And it's going towards Bill Shorten. I think that's right. I think that there are more systemic problems on the union side, clearly. But what concerns me isn't if one individual allegedly has taken so much money, it's that high people within the party have recommended him for the role that allowed that, despite the paying back of about $50,000 of inappropriate takings out of Tasmania. That's where I think there is something that needs to be answered on the Liberal side. Well, and questions will be asked and answers will be given, but as you know, there are differing views about that. But the key point is today Dyson Hayden is going to announce whether he'll continue, and I hope he does, to head up the Royal Commission. And the reason why he should continue and the reason why the Royal Commission is so important is because it has uncovered these systemic abuses, examples of bribery and blackmail and undisclosed donations like the one we're talking about with Bill Shorten today. Now that's very serious work and that deserves a proper hearing and a proper airing in public, and no wonder with more than 25 union officials, both current and former, being referred to the regulatory and law enforcement agencies for potential breaches of the law by the Royal Commission. No wonder then that Bill Shorten has been trying to attack the umpire and undermine the Royal Commission from day one.
All right, Josh Frydenberg, always appreciate your insights on Newsday. Thanks for joining us, as always.
Great to be with you. Thanks, Peter.
All right, we're going to take